What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. I want to talk about narcissists or unstable creatures. The narcissist makes it difficult for you to maintain a long-term relationship with, whether it's a relationship or a marriage or a friendship, because it always ends based on the narcissist just refusing to reason with you. And once a person just get to the point where they're just done dealing with this same behavior from the narcissist, they just decide to cut them off. And based on experience with me dealing with the narcissist whom I work with, and having like a 5-year friendship with this person, I can remember a lot of stories that she once told me of people in her past. And it would always end pretty similar based on the fact that they didn't give her something. So once she stopped receiving something that she was once getting for a long period of time from people from her past, this is when their relationship, friendship, or whatever came to an end. Even her marriage. She mentioned about how her marriage ended because her husband was cheating on her. Once they split up, she never mentioned why they split up. She just said that he was always so kind and giving when they first met. All she could talk about is what she was able to get from him. But what I was, expecting her to describe the most about her husband is what made her fall in love with him. Like, what made her be attracted to him. But the only thing she could think of is the things that he was able to offer her. And I'm willing to bet on she just sucked that man dry to the point where he just left her. So she mentioned when he left her, he went to go live with his mother. They were separated, but not divorced. She had 2 small children at the time. And she claimed that he had moved on, was seeing someone else, and the woman was staying with him and his mother. She said his mother kept it a secret from her, and this is what made her want to divorce him. And when she found out that he get to have custody of the children, she said that was just too much for her to handle. And another thing that she mentioned, that once she found out how much money she was going to be getting in child support, she just completely forgot all about the fact that, I'll be missing my kids when they're with him during the times that he have to have them. Because I was like, I'm so attached to my kids, I can only imagine how they feel. That's what I said to her at the time. And she was like, when I found out about the money, and I'm like, so the money is more important than the kids. I mean, of course, if he was a good guy, he's going to do what he have to do. Not only that, narcissists, they kind of twist and turn stories. They're not always truthful when they're telling you about somebody. Majority of the time, they're pretty much lying on the person. And if anything, they make the person look like the bad one or the predator. When in fact, if you turn the story around, it was the narcissist who played the role of the person who were doing all the bad things. But they're going to always put it on someone else just to make them look good in the situation. They're going to cover themselves to make themselves look good in a situation. But 9 times out of 10, it's them who was the predator, who caused the split up or the divorce. But of course, she's just going to put it all on him, because I'm like, well, what makes a good man just all in a sudden just become the total opposite, and then y'all not together anymore? And she could never just get to that. It would always just be, he left me for another woman. And the reason why we got together is because of how nice he was. She would always mention he was such a nice guy. He would give me that's all she was able to talk about, materialistic things and how kind he was. And so that's why y'all married, because of that. Then she mentioned that he was much younger than her. So I'm like, the thing about this narcissist, they always bring up what makes the person bad, and that's what caused them to not deal with them anymore. I also remember the time that she mentioned about a lady who she didn't even know. I knew the lady before her. I met this lady a long time ago. We weren't like friends, but we were associates. We knew of each other. Well, she got attached on to that girl, used her up for supplies, sucked her dry, to the point where the girl just cut her off. She was angry about it. And I say, well, did you ever find out why she don't want to be your friend no more? And she was like, no, but I don't know what somebody must have told her about me. And I'm like, yeah, it's something you did to her. And come to find out, she treated her the same way she treated me for a long period of time during the time we worked together. Same situation with that girl. The same thing. And once she went no contact with her, it's like she just hate the girl. But I'm like, you never see your own flaws. They never see the problem within them. That's why I titled this video, Unstable Creatures. Because they're unstable when it comes to maintaining a friendship, relationship, or marriage. And it all ends the same way. Based on the fact that the person don't have nothing to give them anymore. Or you just went no contact with them. And so now they want to make you look like the bad person for letting them go, for cutting them off. And they love to play the victim, role. She's done this. Now I mentioned about the husband, I mentioned about the friend, and now I'm going to move along to the children. The children were so unattached to her once they were old enough to really know what's going on. They wanted to be more closer to the dad than the mom. And I'm like, so if the children are more close to the dad, it's because the dad is not the narcissist you were, and you're the one who drove the dad away. You're probably driving your kids away. So this is just a pattern of traits that describes the unstable narcissists, which is why I call them unstable creatures. But the very last thing I wanted to talk about is how she mentioned that, now I know over the course of the period when we were friends, she would always talk about people from her past. How they're not friends anymore. Well, this is a relative who used to do so much for her, so much for her financially. And she just sucked that woman for every penny she can get out of her. She used her. This lady used to pay all her bills. And I'm like, and you working and she's paying more of your bills than you're paying out of your own money. And I mentioned this in an older video. She owed the lady like $1,200. So the lady wanted it back from her when she got her income tax money. She got her income tax money and she was like, well, I already got loans to pay off and I got to pay her back. And I'm like, well, why are you getting mad at the fact that you owe somebody? And so she called herself cutting her off. It's always because of something that they can't get out of you anymore. Makes it reason enough for them to just not want to deal with you anymore. When if you really look at it, the person probably will be glad to not have to deal with you anymore, because I know I am. Because she does borrow money a lot. She used to borrow a lot of money from me. And it looked like it was like every week, and it had become a habit, and it was frustrating me. So I just stopped lending it. I didn't lie like, oh, I don't have it or anything like that. I have it, but I just don't have to loan, and I'm not going to keep loaning money, period. Because she would keep extending the time when she pay you back. So that's all I pretty much wanted to talk about in this video, how narcissists are unstable creatures. And this is why they can't maintain a long-term friendship or relationship or marriage, or even family members have to end up cutting them off because they just don't know how to be a reasonable person and understand that we just don't owe them anything. So that's all. If you all enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching and enjoy your weekend.